Good morning, world. I apologize for being late. I messed up in the settings and it doesn't let you change the streaming settings. So it wasn't letting me use my webcam, all the things. So I'm here now. I had to make a whole new one. So if you're in the other one, sorry. Let me actually check that real quick. Why is it so challenging, YouTube? And why can't you just change that? Okay, no one's here. Okay. All right. I'm back. I'm so sorry. Darn it. But I'll make sure I never make that mistake again. And unfortunately, YouTube does not let you change that one point of the setting. All right. Well, we are doing discernment today. Discernment. Okay. Welcome to the Hype Hive. I'm Megan. I am the ultimate hype witch. And every Friday, if I am available, if I have other things going on, sorry, then I won't be doing one, but I'll be doing live meditations on my YouTube page. Check out my Instagram. That's where I post whether they're happening or not the night before. And then the link, unless if something like what just happened happens, should be the one that you go to and click through. So every week within the Hype Hive, my online community, which you can join, the link is going to be in the bio. I highly encourage you to join. If you're looking for community, if you're looking for people who are looking to just dive deeper within themselves while also holding themselves accountable and look at opportunities for growth and set intentions for their lives every week moving forward, then I highly suggest it. We're a very inclusive crew. We love celebrating life, celebrating one another's wins, and we really want to hold the vision for the collective success and birthing this new earth. I have been just trying to figure out how best I want to be a steward of this new earth and how I want to show up. And I love building community. I spent a million years organizing 100 plus events in Austin, Texas, which is where I live. And then, I turned 30 and I was like, okay, how do I do this differently? And how can I help other people who aren't in Austin? Because we're very spoiled here in Austin. And so I decided to build an online community, which is called the Hype Hive. And it's, the slogan is where everyone has a seat at the table, everyone's opinions valued, everyone's story matters. And that's super important for me. And an important key code for me in my life is, it doesn't matter who you are welcome. And yeah. So in the Hype Hive, every Sunday, we do Sunday devotionals where and every week has a theme, and every theme goes along with the season. So this week's theme is going to be discernment. We're in summer. We just had the summer solstice. The first week was about surrender and then stillness. And now we're in discernment. And discernment teaches you how to honor what is no longer true for you, what your no is, what your no's are, so that you can create spaciousness in your life for your yeses, for the things that fully light you up, and for the things that you're being called to do, called higher on, right? We're all here to fulfill a sacred soul mission. And it's important for us to take time to go inward. I believe every season has an inward journey and an outward journey. So I design all of my themes, all of my offerings to align with that. And so when we're in summer, it's very buzzy, it's very exploratory. It's like the season of welcomed expansion, as I refer to it. But we have to go within, we have to surrender to who we are meant to become. But in order to do that, we have to allow ourselves to contemplate, okay, where am I distracting myself? Where am I overcommitting? Where have I not been pouring my precious energy into? And what shifts do I need to make in order to do that? And that's where discernment comes in. Discernment is so important. It has been one of the biggest lessons, I think of my life, of a lot of people's lives. It's understanding what's true for you and then following that, because there's a lot of noise, especially now with social media, like telling you what you need to be doing, how you need to be doing it. You're not doing enough. Your life is inadequate. It's the highlight reels. It's you have your 10K month, and then everyone's like, well, dream bigger. What about 100K? And you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, I'm so happy and content and all of the things. And I'm such a growth oriented person, but there's a lot of noise out there trying to convince you that you're not good enough. And I think a lot of people need to really cultivate self-love and develop a better relationship with their internal world, because I believe that our external world is a reflection of our internal world. So if your internal world feels inadequate, and the intentions behind, you getting healthy or you getting wealthy are fear-based instead of abundance-based, and instead of, feeling absolutely fulfilled in your life, then something needs to shift, because you're only ever going to see this external reality reflected to you that shows you fear, shows you lack, shows you scarcity, when instead we can be choosing to see the abundance. We can choosing to live in gratitude for what we currently have, and being so excited for what is to come, and allowing that wonder and awe and mystery and the miracles to surprise us, and that magic to surprise us every single day. And that's where discernment comes in. It's understanding how to listen to your true north, and understanding how to sit with yourself, and what inside of you needs to, remain the same, what patterns and identities and things you need to evaluate and go internal with and dive deeper with, and then, allow yourself to move on and repattern and make shifts in your life. And that's the work I do. That's what I'm here to help people do. It's about these micro shifts so that you can make macro changes in your world. I'm here to bridge that gap between the spiritual and the physical. I want to make it as relatable as possible. I don't want to be, talking about all of these things up here without bringing them down into here so people can apply them to their real lives. So that's why I'm doing these live meditations. You can see what it's like to work with me and how I like to move through the seasons of life. I'm a cyclical person. I'm very much natural rhythm of the world, natural rhythm of my womb, and I'm very tapped in. So I created this whole program of all of these seasons like a year ago. I don't even know at this point, and now I've just been moving through them, and it's been really magical to see how the themes, before I'm like, oh, what's this week's theme? I'm like, oh yeah, that has been coming up for me and other people in the world. So it's important to just see how these themes apply to your life and reflect on how you can set intentions around these themes. And so then you can move forward becoming a more compassionate, graceful, and loving human being, because that's what we're here to do. That's what the new earth is all about. It's about, evolving, changing, growing, but it's really about kindness and community, and which are two of my favorite things. All right. So discernment. We are going to drop into the meditation now. Thank you for the rant if you've made it this far. And okay, you can close your eyes. You can drop in to yourself. Taking some deep breaths in and out. Inhaling through the nose. And if you want to, you can exhale through the mouth. As you just stick with your breath, allow yourself to just take these large inhales and exhales, really drop in. For me, discernment is about rootedness. It's about staying anchored in your own truth and learning how to differentiate between what's meant for you and what isn't. We live in a world where we are in information overload. We are constantly being told what to be doing, how we should be doing it, all of these things, hacks. But discernment allows us to take ourselves a layer deeper, and it opens a gateway into stillness and allows us to communicate with our internal world on a level that many people don't even give themselves permission to see. See if we want to access that sovereignty, the liberation of this planet, the liberation of humanity. We're going to have to all learn how to discern between what is truth and what is fable. We're going to need to learn how to call our energy back to us. And I want you to bring your shoulders up. And I want you to shrug them down and just kind of move your head and your neck around. And your shoulders, just kind of loosening up this upper body where we hold a lot of our tension and allowing ourselves to sink deeper into our root, into our seat. As always, we will call in any of our benevolent guides, any of our angels who want to give us guidance during this meditation. They are welcome to do so as we protect ourselves with golden grids of light. And I want you to imagine a royal blue light is floating just above your crown, just above the spot in between your eyes, right above your head. I want you to allow that light to enter into your body. And it's going to start oscillating through our mind, through our head, clearing out old thoughts, old patterns. And it's going to move into our throat, and it's going to loosen up our jaw. It's going to allow us to speak our truth with compassion and kindness at the forefront. But we're no longer holding back what's meant to be said, what's meant to be shared. Our voice matters. We are all significant souls. And then we'll move down and we'll split that light off, and it'll go down into our arms. And we'll shake out our arms, flinging all of that away from us, all of that old stuff, all of the baggage we're holding on to, everything that we're carrying, the stories, the people, the places, the things that are dragging us behind, shaking it out. And we'll bring that light back up. It'll join, it'll be at the heart space, and it'll make its way around our heart, opening us up deeper into the love we have for ourselves, the love we have for our lives, the love we have for those who choose to show up for us in our world, for our communities, for our planet. We open our hearts even wider and deeper so that we can feel love come into our lives and be able to receive it once it arrives. And we'll make our way around our backs into our gut, clear out any questions, any confusion, any distortions that are living in that gut. Our gut, they call it our first brain, really, sometimes second brain, but I think first. Our gut instincts are what connects us to our primordial soul, our primal energy, our essence of who we are as humans. Our gut tells us whether there is danger, whether we need to instill that discernment. And it always shows us and illuminates where we need to trust ourselves more. Because even if you don't listen to it that first time, that's the lesson is, oh yeah, I did have a feeling about that. So what did that feel like? How do I trust that feeling next time it comes in? And we'll move on down into our groins, women into our wombs, that sacral power. That is where our life force is, our creation energy. So we always just want to keep that energy moving. No stagnant sexual energy here. That is our life force. That is how we create on this planet. That's where we create from. And if it's blocked, then we've got some work to do. And that is how we receive as well. It's deeply connected to our throats and our power. And then we will make our way down into our root. But before we get there, we'll split that blue light off. We'll put it into our legs. This is where we hold so much of our power. This is our support system. This is how we walk. This is how we are able to move through this world physically. So we always want to give our feet that love and our legs that gratitude for holding it down always. And trusting that the path we are walking is the one we are meant to be on. We'll bring that blue light back into that root. That is the base of us. And we want to just settle into our spine, settle into our seat, and really allow ourselves to evaluate how much more relaxed we are right now. Taking a deep breath in. Exhaling it fully. One more breath in. Exhale fully. And now I want to invite you to pick one area of your life. You can always come back and do this again, focus on another, but pick one area of your life that you need to evaluate, that you're being called to question. Maybe it's relationship, maybe it's career, maybe it's money, maybe it's adventure, maybe it's that self inward journey. And whatever aspect of your life it may be, this is our invitation to become empathetic witnesses to our emotions, our lives. It's about contemplation. So not judging it, meeting it with compassion, witnessing it as it comes up, but not needing any answers. And what's coming up for you as we ask about what part of this aspect of us needs better discernment? Where in my life, where in this facet of my life do I need to distill it down to a deeper truth, a recognition of a change that needs to be made, whether an internal one or an external one? And what stories have you created about this narrative? Have you created about this identity? What stories have you allowed others to pour onto you? Maybe it's you need to stay at your job because, it affords you the lifestyle that you're creating for yourself. But maybe you don't even want that lifestyle. Maybe that lifestyle was put onto you. Maybe there's a relationship dynamic that needs to change in your life, whether it's friendship, whether it's partnership, maybe it's a business relationship. Yeah, bring up a story. You can just focus on one right now. You can always later journal on all the other things that started to come up and take yourself a layer deeper, or reach out if you ever have questions. But what's a story that you've been telling yourself or you've been told that you must absolutely follow, but never really felt right for you, never felt fully true? And I want you to just become a witness. It's all about compassion and contemplation here. But where in your body does that story not fully land? Is it in your gut? Is it in your root? Is it in your heart? Is it in your mind? When we start to allow ourselves to just evaluate where in our body this story isn't fully landing or making sense, or you have questions about, it allows us to evaluate that discernment of whether it's true for us, whether we're resisting it, whether it just doesn't make sense. Maybe the logic isn't there. Maybe the love isn't there. Maybe there's a lack of love. Maybe our gut is telling us something isn't right. When we start to evaluate where in our body these things are lighting up, it shows us and illuminates a path that we can take ourselves down and just have a deeper understanding of where the story came from, why it's illuminating that area, that chakra, that center. Then we can start to discern whether, we are the ones who need to take ourselves deeper, or maybe we need to make some external changes. Take a deep breath in and a big exhale out. Now you can ask yourself, do I need to make a shift in my attitude towards this story, this behavior, this choice I've been making? Do I need to shift my perspective on it? Do I need to go inward and evaluate it a little bit more? Or do I need to make one small actionable step today in my external world that's going to keep me on the right course, keep me in right alignment with where I'm taking my life? It's going to allow me to start making positive changes and shifts in my life for the better of myself, of my nuclear family, of my community, and for my planet. Just one actionable step, whether it's journaling, whether it's walking in nature, whether it's talking to someone, whether it's sharing your truth. Maybe it's starting that creative endeavor, that creative project. Giving yourself more time for you and creating that spaciousness in your life. When we allow ourselves to sit in stillness and to drop into our own hearts and into our own body, we quiet the external noise and allow ourselves to drop into our innate nature. Discernment gives us the opportunity to decide what is true for us, what we want to be doing with our lives. And it allows us to evaluate where we want to take ourselves. It gives us permission to put past versions of us to rest, to let go of old identities. So we can honor our no's and create spaciousness in our lives for our full yeses. Taking one deep breath in and letting it go. Ask yourself, what is a full yes for you right now? What is alive in your world right now? What do you want to be pouring more of your energy into, even if it's just 30 minutes of your day? And if you don't have 30 minutes of your 24 hours of your day, then that's an invitation to sit with yourself longer and evaluate where you're overextending yourself and what you need to reprioritize. But just think about what's a full yes for you. Maybe it's just meditating every day, even 15 minutes, journaling, talking about what happened, listing out what you're grateful for. That new creative endeavor, maybe it's painting, maybe it's writing, maybe it's singing. It's just writing a poem every day, just taking 15 minutes to just write a poem. Going on a walk in nature, calling a friend. And you need to ask yourself, what excuses have I been making to not do that thing? What identities have I been holding on to that are preventing me from stepping into that new version of me or creating spaciousness in my life to pursue something that I'm passionate about? At the end of the day, we are the ones who block our biggest blessings. And it's through discernment and taking time to evaluate what no longer will serve us in our lives. That gives us the opportunity to create that spaciousness, to allow ourselves to step into something new, to step into a new chapter. Mm. I want you to take a deep breath in. Whether you say these out loud or you say them inside, if you're in an environment where you can't say them out loud, it's always much more powerful if you say them out loud, though, because you're declaring these. I am my own wisdom keeper. I know what's right for me. I trust my inner knowing, and I follow through on my word. I honor my true north and take steps towards my own becoming. I place a deeper sense of trust within myself. And let go of what I'm unbecoming. I make decisions with confidence. I remove any haste. I say no when I need to. I release the guilt of the internal and external expectations. I create space for the full yeses and take steps every day to learning how to listen to myself deeper, to honor my wisdom more fully, and to create the life I'm passionate about. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Before you come back, I want you to just imagine that blue light is surrounding you now. It is expanded outwards from that root up through your entire body, out past your energy field. And you're just blasting the world with your light and your magic and your yes. while you honor your nose. If you like this, subscribe, follow along for more meditations. I have a lot of videos scheduled on all of the different themes that I talk about. If you want to take yourself a layer deeper, but you don't know where to start, you can always sign up for my starter pack. That's on my website as well. It's a self guided inward journey meant to take you through the themes of accountability, alignment. And it's just a compassionate yet transparent guide where you can evaluate where in your life you need to take yourself a layer deeper, where you've been living out of alignment, and then just taking steps and making commitments to yourself to become a better version of you. Just slow, gradual steps. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. And we learn how to live with intention, hold yourself accountable, follow through on your word, all of those, all of those steps. I created it based on all of the themes that I integrated and had to understand on a deeper level after I had this massive spiritual awakening 4 years ago, which you can read my story or listen to my story if you go to my Instagram, or there's a video on here about my spiritual awakening as well. And yeah, so there's the starter pack if you want to be held accountable for, these small actionable steps that you're going to be taking. You can join my online community. We do meditations on Mondays as well. We talk about what's going on in our lives. There's journal prompts, there's rituals and practices. We do workshops. We do the Sunday devotionals, like I mentioned before. And then we have our accountability calls on Tuesdays. The accountability calls are where we claim our desires. We come together and we talk through what our blocks are, what resistances are coming up for us, and we talk about the actionable steps that we're going to make in our lives for whatever projects, whatever businesses, whatever pursuits we're doing. We're here to support you and anchor in that support. I believe accountability is so important and such a better thing to do when you have someone or other people to hold you accountable, because it makes it more fun and it also adds this external pressure to get something done, which I think a lot of us need. I like having a little pressure, but that's kind of my nature. So if you like this, subscribe. See you next week, or see you in the Hype Hive. As always, comment, like, follow along, subscribe. Okay, I'm Megan. I'm the Ultimate Hype Witch, and I hope you have a magical day.